all I'm saying is no one demonized him. She didn't sit there and demonize him. She told him that even though you may be a great father to these kids, you may give them all the time and take care of them and be that provider that these children need. Kids need more than that. Instead of having a world of a whole bunch of baby mamas who either do or don't have a daddy around, how about we just don't have as many baby mamas? Why is that acceptable? Why has it become in the black man's mind that it's okay to have a whole bunch of baby mamas as long as you taking care of the kids in whatever spectrum you think taking care of the kids is? Kids, especially at their youngest ages, need more than money. Money is the last thing that they honestly need.
But how do we know he's not there?
They need you to be there. They need you to be present.
How do you know he's not there?
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Law, let her finish.
Yeah, you might need to mute Law because y'all, you know, you need to be there present on a daily basis. It's a huge difference from having a father that's in the home constantly and consistently, which Law you should actually know because you're there constantly and consistently, opposed to having someone who dips in and out when they have the time. Not only dips in and out on just you, but also other homes. There are multiple different homes that he has to spread his time up amongst just for him to be able to have time with those children. She never demonized him. What she said was facts. You are creating broken homes. It's not a question of whether or not you can take or provide for those homes. We know he can. Is it right for us as Black people, especially when we are supposed to be in better positions, making money, to continue with this narrative that you don't want to get married because you're afraid of what may happen after you get married? Okay, don't have children. Let's stop doing it. Let's stop.
Can I ask you a quick question?
To have kids and not okay to make homes. If you're afraid to make homes, you're afraid to have the kids. Stop doing it.
Can I ask a quick question? Do y'all think he's at home any more now than he was when he was playing professional football?
Oh no.
Most successful men are on the road most of the time. So how do we explain that one away? How do we explain that one away?
When they get older,
no, that's not the point though. How do we explain that one away?
You're not doing a good job as a good parent.
But most successful men are not at home every day. In order for us to put out a certain lifestyle, listen, it doesn't matter. In order for us to put up a certain lifestyle, we're going to have to work. So in order for me to pay these bills, and I'm just telling you how it is, y'all, you negating the fact that ball players, businessmen that travel 40% of the time are not at home every day. Are they failing their family as well?
Yes.
Is that a broken home as well?
Yes.
I don't.
Do you think because they're on the road that they can't still be present for their kids?
Right.
Just because they're on the road.
Exactly. You're contradicting yourself when it comes to Cameroon.
Think so highly about that have so much money, they can afford to bring their kids to them. You do know that, right?
So what is that saying that you think Cam Newton isn't doing that? Can we say he's not doing that?
See,
that's what I'm saying. We don't know what he's doing.
If it was 2 or 3 kids, I could understand. But if it's 8 and you want more, it's hard to be there for all of the children at different stages, at different times. It's only 24 hours in a day.
Come on.
And it's going to be that way regardless if you have a certain profession.
So
let's look at an airline pilot. How much time do you think he has a chance to be at home? Let's look at all these jobs where someone is going to have to travel. I'm trying to tell you what I know as a man that has to travel for work sometimes. Plain and simple. You're not going to be there every day. So when it comes time for you to actually be a father, can you do those things?
Is it easier, Law, this is a question for you. Knowing whether you travel or not, is it easier for you to take care of that one home where you have your wife and kids in that one place? Or would it be easier for you to juggle multiple homes? Which one is easier? Which one makes more sense?
Well, I think here's the problem, and I kind of answered this in the King Talk group. The difference is one is out of necessity and out of circumstance, and the other one is just selfish decision making. That's how I would have answered it personally. Like you going out and purposely knocking up and creating 4 or 5 different homes is totally different than being a father who has to who's being forced to work outside the home and have to travel because they have to work out of necessity. However, this is where the argument falls apart on y'all end. You know what? No, y'all can have it. I'm looking up something, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Well, so Law brought up an airline pilot. An airline pilot has flight benefits for his family to fly for free whenever they choose. So if they choose to be with their family, or their family chooses to be with them, it's pretty convenient. And the same rules apply to wealthier men. They can have their families come to them. So the presence can be there. It may not be every single day, but it's possible.
Right. So how do we know he's not doing these things?
I'm back, so what?
How do we know he's not doing these things? That's what I'm saying. We sitting up here assuming as if this man is not involved in his children's lives.
I think she agree with you.
Just like
I think she agree with you, bro.
Other way.
She agree with you.
I never assumed that he wasn't doing anything for his kids. I personally don't know Cam Newton. I know his affordability for kids may be there. I don't know if his presence for all his kids is there. And I think to women, that's more important, because women are the ones who have the children, who are raising the children primarily. I'm not saying that men are not involved, but if we are dealing with a wealthier man that travels a lot, it's highly unlikely that he's at the house every day. But that doesn't mean that he won't have access to his children. So I'm not saying that Cam Newton is trash.
I need it.
So are y'all saying that if it was Ruth, are you saying that if it was only 2 or 3 children across 2 or 3 women, that it'd be better or easier, or you
would have been a better situation than 8 kids? Yeah.
But if it's only 8 kids spread across 3 households, isn't that exactly the same thing?
But you still, even if you go to that one household, how much time will you have with each kid?
See?
You see what I'm saying?
So basically, so what you're saying is that having over 8 kids in a household is probably problematic to begin with, right?
What you should have done is got married and have 8 kids in one house. And even then, you would still have a problem with getting to know every one of your kids in different situations. And then you got to also think about the woman that would allow to be his second and third baby mom. Is that the best woman to raise your kids with the morals that you want them to have? And how are you going to balance that when you're not there? So
we're not going to
be coming out any old kind of way.
We're not going to shame polygamous families, because polygamous families do exist.
I don't think you're talking about that.
It's different. Polygamous. It's another thing to be with somebody because of their money as well. So you dealing with multiple things.
The reason I said that is, well, I guess the baby mama comment, I took it the wrong way when she said what type of woman would be the third or second baby mama. That's why I took it that way. So I take it back then.
For the show.
Remove the baby mama from that. But so my whole thing is this. It is more than just money, and it is time. If you can't manage to, am I echoing or something?
No, I just muted. Just so you know, if I mute you, it's just only because of feedback, not to shut you down.
Yeah. So if you can't manage to have all your kids in one spot, so you can, whenever you do have time, allocate it effectively to all the kids, I don't think you should be doing that. That's why I brought the example of polygamy. If he created families and continued to create more families, I wouldn't have no issue with it. But if you're creating families in family, create new family in family, create new family, then I see it as an issue. I think she was adequate if that in her critique of him, if that's what actually happened. Also, he was bitter, it seems like, and titling it that, but he did not lie if those are her stats as well.